My dear students, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to give you complete solution of the poem All the World's a Stage, which you have to study under compulsory English of grade 11 according to new course. Let's get started. Learn English with Lakshman. Understanding the text, answer the following question. Why does the poet compare the world with a stage? पोएटले वर्ल्डलाई विश्वलाई एउटा रङ्गमञ्चको रूपमा तुलना किन गरे? The poet compares the world to a stage because he considers all men and women like the actors performing their different roles here in this stage. By stage, he means the world. What is the first stage in a human's life? In what sense can it be a troubling stage? The first stage in a human's life is childhood. It can be a troubling stage in the sense that this stage is a fully dependent stage and the infants can cry and even vomit anytime in mother's arms. Describe the second stage of life based on the poem. The second stage of life is the stage of boyhood. In this stage, the boy is a school-going student. He complains all the time. His face is like shining morning. He carries his bag and reluctantly goes to school as slowly as a snail. Why is the last stage called second childhood? The last stage is called second childhood because in this stage the man loses his sense of sight, hearing, smell and taste and behaves like a child. In what sense are we the players in the world stage? We are the players in the world stage as we appear on the world stage when we get birth and leave it when we die, like the actors do on the stage in a theater. Reference to the context. Explain the following lines. All the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. Okay, in the given lines, the poet has compared the whole world with a stage where men and women are the actors. After birth, every person performs their role here in the worldly stage and finally leave this stage moving towards their final destination called death. Explain the following lines briefly with reference to the context. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. Answer. The given lines are taken from the poem All the World's a Stage, composed by William Shakespeare. These lines express similarity between the roles the actor play on the stage and humans in their life. Here, the poet has said that the people arrive here in this worldly stage through birth and leave the stage through death. Like the actors in a drama, we are assigned various roles to be performed. When we get our roles completed, we quit the stage of our life. The poet wants us to realize the fact that human life is like the stage of a theater. A man is fated to act several roles in his life. Read the given lines and answer the questions that follow. Then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. Which stage of life is being referred to here by the poet? The childhood stage of the life is being referred to here by the poet. Which figure of speech has been employed in the second line? In the second line, simile, a figure of speech has been employed where the boy has been compared with a snail using like. Who is compared to the snail? The school-going boy is compared to the snail. Does the boy go to the school willingly? No, the boy doesn't go to school willingly. His unwillingness can easily be understood by his motion similar to that of snail. Simile and metaphor are the two major poetic devices used in this poem. Explain citing example of each. Here in this poem, we find major poetic devices as simile and metaphor. The poet has used these poetic devices a lot. The example of simile and metaphor of this poem are as follows. All the world's a stage, metaphor, and all the men and women merely players, metaphor, and shining morning face creeping like a snail, simile, full of strange oaths, bearded like a pard, simile, seeking the bubble reputation, metaphor, his youthful horse well saved a world too wide, metaphor, and his big manly voice turning again towards childy treble, metaphor. यो मेटाफोर र सिमिली छुट्याउँदा के हुन्छ त भन्दा लाइक एज युज गरेर कम्पेयर गरियो भने त्यो सिमिली भयो र लाइक एज जस्ता शब्दहरू युज नगरेर डाइरेक्टली कम्पेयर गरियो भने त्यो के भयो मेटाफोर भयो. Which style does the poet use to express his emotion about how he thinks that the world is a stage and all the people living it are mere players? The poem is written in blank verse with regular metrical but unrhymed lines. The style of the poem is narrative. In this poem, he has expressed his innermost emotions about how he thinks that the world is a stage and all the people living in it are mere players or characters. These characters go through 7 different phases in their lives. He has explained the real aspect of human life for all readers to understand the reality of life. What is the theme of this poem? In all the world's a stage, Shakespeare discusses the futility of humanity's place in the world. He explores theme of time, aging, memory, and the purpose of life. Through the monologue's central conceit that everyone is simply a player in a larger game that they have no control over, he brings the themes together. Shakespeare takes the reader through the stage of life, starting with infancy and childhood and ending up with an old man who has been a lover, soldier, a judge. The man dies after reverting back to a state that is close to childhood and infancy. Reference beyond the text. Describe various stages of human life picturized in the poem All the World's a Stage. The 7 phases of human development are described by Shakespeare. The world is like a theater and the people who inhabit it play the role of various parts. The first stage begins as a helpless infant and ends up as a school-bound adolescent. After that, the young adolescent grows up as a passionate lover and then becomes a devoted soldier with a boundless vigor. The judge in good clothing represents the 5th level, which is an intelligent and mature stage. Then comes retirement, when one's eyes become droopy and voice becomes shaky. Finally, one's senses, memories, strength, everything begin to deteriorate until they eventually die. These are the seven stages of human life as described by the poet. Is Shakespeare's comparison of life with a drama stage apt? How? Shakespeare's comparison of a person's life to a theatrical play is proper. He compares the whole world to a theatre with men and women performing various roles. Each performer in a play enters the stage, does his or her part, and then exits the stage. The same may be said regarding our arrival in this world. Every one of us has a unique personality and manner of doing things. We leave this planet permanently when we die. Actors perform their seven different parts before leaving the stage. As much as Shakespeare claimed that every man passes through seven stages in his life. On this earthly stage, we play the parts of a baby, a boy, a lover, a soldier, a judge, an older man, and a very elderly man. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe my channel so that you will be notified when I upload next video.